But Isis and Goldie are well into their race. Chris Bailey and Barry Davies.
Well, a perfect afternoon for weather and a perfect afternoon for Goldie, who are at the crossing and have so much clear water between their boat and the dark blue boat of Isis. They got clear water at the end of Fulham football ground, and they've gone away from that point on.
Absolutely, and obviously Cambridge are hoping that this presages good news for the main race to follow, because Cambridge held off an early challenge by Isis. Isis threw in absolutely everything until just before the milepost. Cambridge, in the form of Goldie, settled well and have just continued to row away from them. And we're seeing that splendid, strong Cambridge rhythm gradually lengthening the distance.
Mark Davies, who held his ground at the start, held his water at the start, has been able to take the course he wanted. Round the Surrey bend in style, over the crossing to move into the best of the stream. And here are 8 men in unison being pointed in the direction they want to go.
And it's been a very fine Goldie crew. This was a remarkably good one last year, and this one has come on and improved right the way through training. Tough selection for the blue boat. I think modesty prevents Barry saying that the hardest of all the selections actually was the coxes, and it was Mark Davies, Barry's son, who was the one to lose out. But he's getting some consolation here. He's coxed extremely well in this race, and the crew is flowing beautifully. Just look at that gap.
Well, last year there were 13 lengths between the two crews. 39 seconds the difference.
I have to say, it looks as if it could be that again this year. I'm also equally surprised by that. I thought that the Oxford revival would have reached down into the Goldie boat. This is where hopefully the crews train their youngsters for the following year. 4 of the Cambridge crew have been through the Goldie boat, including, of course, Dirk Bangett, who failed to make the blue boat last year and is back in again this. In fact, only one of the Oxford 8, the president, comes via Isis, and perhaps there's something in that for Oxford to learn.
Well, from the Goldie crew, Sebastian Dawson-Bowling was there last year. 6, maybe 7 will be available next year. 7 undergraduates, including 1 freshman. And that freshman was certainly good enough for the blue boat, James Ball from King's School Chester and Robinson. And it's been a pretty tough ride for Alexander Greaney from Abingdon School and St Edmund Hall, the cox of Isis, because from the moment that Cambridge took over, he knew that he was in a losing crew. There's nothing that Richard Kelly, the stroke, Julian Cashmore, Tom Anderson, the Etonian at Oriel, Martin Brown from Queen's Park High School, Chester and Oriel, Jonathan Clayton, Tom Fleming, Robert Allen and Charles Heise could do about it. Look at the final bend, but the bends have become academic, because when Oxford had the advantage of the Middlesex bend at the start, Cambridge negated it.
And this race also shows that you don't have to be the heavier or indeed the older crew. Goldie are lighter on by about some 7 or 8 pounds. They're also younger, a higher proportion of graduates in the Isis boat.
Will be a 6th consecutive win on the 30th anniversary of the challenge between Isis and Goldie. 31st race, and it'll be Goldie's 20th victory to 11 by Isis. Record time incidentally is 17:05, but in rather faster conditions than today. This is good time by Goldie.
Good time, but no records today. We've had so much rain over the ensuing months, and the wind is not helping. You can see the water being picked up. It could be a little bit rougher still by the time we get to the boat race in some few minutes' time.
Well, in the practices on Thursday for the start, Goldie were priding themselves that they actually were the most impressive of all 4 crews at the start, and they held Oxford, the Isis boat, in the start when it mattered, and they've gone away and produced the the Cambridge style, the
Yes.
smoothness of rowing.
That's a very smooth entry, the quick hands at the end, lightness of touch, very much their trademarks. This crew has been very competitive with the blue boat, almost caused a little embarrassment in the middle of the week when they were very competitive one to the other. It'll be interesting, if academic, to look at the time of this race, compare it with the main race. There really hasn't been very much pressure on the Goldie crew. They're not really at full extension yet.
Notice the smile on the face of Pete Mallin-Jones. Comes up to stroke Goldie to victory. When he first went out in a sculling boat, he was attacked by a swan and disappeared into the water. Very different day for him today and for his crew. Goldie successful again. Isis in their wake again. Battling to the finish in what for a very long time has been a lost cause. Goldie having to sit and wait quite a long time for Isis to arrive.
Yes, but I'd say it was the best part of 40 seconds. I didn't get it quite exactly, but in that order, which is a very substantial victory.
Very
Some
similar to
13 lengths.
last year. Yes, it was 39 seconds last year for 13 lengths. And the echoes of the cheers from under Chiswick Bridge. It hurts so much when you lose. It's such a delight when you win.